Hey y'all, how you doing? I am back in the garage, and I guess you can say whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, Today, let me flip the camera around. Today we are working on this and these. So what in the world is all this going to be? You got any ideas? So we got a big plate of flat metal. We got this round bar stock, and we got a bunch of rusty horseshoes. What are they going to be? Anybody got any clues? So, anyway, I'll tell you what. I will give you a hint. Yeah, I'm just teasing. Okay. I am going to do something with that, but no, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. This is going to be a pot rack for some cast iron pots that my daughter is she's busy doing a lot of cooking and that sort of thing, and it's been kind of a hobby of hers lately. So she has got. We do actually have a place to put the cast iron pots, but it's not the best place in the world. So I thought, hey, I could make something that would be perfect for that. So anyway, it's going to have that rustic look about it, you know, as you can see. And so I guess this is going to be some more welding basics video. Okay. So, and yeah. So there you go. I'm going to get started, and I'm going to do a little welding, and I'm going to show you some basics about all of this. Okay. All right. Be right back. Okay, everybody. Let's see here. Let me show you what's going on. All right, y'all. Here we go. We got We've got a couple of tacks there. I know, a little bit large tacks, but they're tacks nonetheless. I've got to continue and go all the way around and get this thing secured to the plate here. Get this secured to the plate, and I think that will be it for the welding on this and this. So on the where this hoop mounts to the plate. Uh, Now this is just round bar stock. I got this at Tractor Supply. That's what this is, just round bar stock. I got it at Tractor Supply. The plate here, I had this laying around. The horseshoes, of course, yeah, they've been laying around. You know, got them from previous horses. So, and then I'm also going to use this collection of these hangers right here. I'm going to use them to actually, they're going to hang on that round bar stock. I'll give you a little example. Let's see, like so. And see, this will be mounted to the wall here. This will be mounted to the wall. This will be, you know, out there in the air, and this will be. Then I'm going to have a piece that's coming from here up to here somewhere. Another mounting piece up here that'll probably attach to this plate. So it's going to be somewhat elaborate, I guess, but it's also going to be highly, highly functional. So, and then these hooks you can move around here. You can hang all kinds of pots and things off of it. These horseshoes are going to form like a floor, okay? And I'm going to have like several of them running across here, and then I'm going to have them stacked up on top of each other in different ways. And so they'll be hanging up here, and I'll probably have some of these hooks hanging off of them. So let me get back to it, and I'll show you a little bit more, okay? All right. Be right back. Okay, y'all. I have been digging around, and I found a mounting piece here that this is going to go on the wall, and along with this, I'm going to butt weld these two pieces together. I'm probably going to add some sort of structural reinforcement right here on the edges. So that'll get me going this direction. And as you can see, I've got the welding done on this. Yes, it's not the prettiest in the world, but that's the way it is. I'm not a professional welder. I don't claim to be. This is the way it is, okay? Also, I have came up with some ideas on supports for here to here. I thought I would use a couple of different things here that would be interesting and tie some things in together. This thing is mostly going to be kind of horse themed, if you haven't already guessed. Let me get this over here. Yeah, this project is mostly going to be horse themed, if you haven't already guessed. But it's also going to be, I'm going to tie in one thing that's going to be automotive. If you recognize that, that's a lug wrench. I have absolutely zero idea where it came from or what it's for, but I'm going to use the son of a gun. I'm going to use it right here as a support. I'm probably going to cut myself a little notch in this to go over the bar stock here, and then that hoop, and then it's going to weld to this plate up here, and there you go. Furthermore, I'm also going to use something else. I'm going to take one of these, I'm going to cut that sucker in half, and then I'm going to take half of this and I'm going to weld it on as a support like that, okay? This lower portion won't be there. And then I'm going to take the other part, I'm going to come over here and do the same thing over here, okay? And then this is a horse bit, okay? That I'm going to cut that sucker open and get these two, cut this sucker open and get these things apart. And then when I do, I will take them and I will probably add them to one of these supports right here, and they will just, one of them will sit right here against one of the horseshoes. So I may also, when I do that, I may also cut these ends here or flatten them or something, and so that they can, you know, just go right on the edge of one of these here. All right, I've got a ton of work to do. All right, so let me get back at this. I'll show you a little bit more here in just a minute. Okay, y'all. As you can see, that's welded together, and there's still a lot of heat coming off that. So, give you a little clearer example of what's going to happen in here. As you can see, I'm going to take these old horseshoes and we'll lay them out and weld them to each other and to the plate here, and they're going to form like a floor in this hoop here. And then, like I said earlier, I don't have that S hook. Oh yeah, I do. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the S hook is going to be like hanging right there. I'm going to have a bunch of these, several of these going all the way around. I might even crimp this end here, or I might even just do it like that. Either or, it'll work pretty good. Like I also said earlier, I'm going to take one of these guys, one of these horseshoes, I'm going to cut it in half, and it's going to be the support. Okay? Like that right there. Similar to that. And I'm going to use one of these to do the same thing. Okay? Then I've also got a support that's going to be right here, and it's going to run up here. And I showed you it's the lug wrench right here, automotive lug wrench, and from a car, or truck, or something like that. I just want to go ahead and like talk to you all for just a moment, just a minute here, and talk to you all about welding, getting a welder, and just getting out there and getting busy with it. Basically, let me tell you how I learned how to weld. Okay, this is how it all transpired for me. About 20 something years ago, maybe more, I picked up a welder for the very first time. Uh, However, let me make sure you understand, I did not continuously weld from that time 20 years ago till today. Okay, um, back then it was an arc welder. I was welding very, very thick, heavy metal. Um, it wasn't a MIG welder or a TIG or nothing like that. It was just an old buzz box arc welder. That was it, and I worked with it, and it done all right. The bumper, what I was welding didn't fall apart. Good enough. Okay. Fast forward about 15 or so years, maybe 10, 12 years, maybe a little bit less. Well, maybe a little bit more than that, actually, maybe about 15 years. Anyway, wife gets me, I tell her, I'd love to have a welder. She says, okay, great. She gets me this inexpensive welder that was sold by Northern Tool. It didn't do too well. It's a big surprise. I welded just a little bit with it, and then it shut down. It quit. Done. Over with. See you later. So, with that in mind, that put me on the path of like, okay, where do I go from here? Where can I go from here? What can I do? Well, come find out we had a warranty on the welder. Took the welder back, got the money back, applied that money and a little bit more towards the welder I have today, which is this Hobart, and it's been fantastic. Let's see, that's it running right now. Especially, it's been fantastic, especially since I learned how to use it. And that brings up another point. You can go and you can get yourself into some books and start reading and start understanding and start learning about welding, which you should do before you ever pick up a welder and start welding. However, something like this is a really good project to do to learn more about welding and metal working. Okay? You're not going to learn everything you need to know from a book. Sometimes you're going to have to get out of the book, you're going to have to get out of the classroom, and you're going to have to get, and I'm saying classroom, okay, wherever your classroom might be, okay. Sometimes you're going to have to get out of that classroom mentality, okay, and get out here and get busy and get to work. You will make mistakes. You will mess things up. But that's just the way it is, okay? That's just life. That's how it is, okay? You can't be this person who's like, oh, well, I don't want to do that because I'm liable to, not do it right or something. Well, you know what? This is like anything else in life. We're humans, and this is like anything else. We're bound to mess something up. We're bound to make a mistake. And if we do, you know what? It's welding. You're welding metal to metal. Cut it off, start all over, weld some more together, do whatever. And, it doesn't have to be like a pot rack here. It could be, let me show you. A lot of people think that welding is extremely complex and technical and difficult. And that when you weld something together, it's got to be perfect. And, you see these programs where guys are welding stuff together, and it's like, they got these really perfect little beads and all of this, and it's so beautiful. And, and it's on Instagram and everything else. Yeah, it is. But how good is that weld? What's the penetration? Think about it for a minute. Next time you're in a building somewhere and you can see some of the structural steel that makes up that building, look at some of the welds. I can just about guarantee you that some of those welds aren't going to be nowhere near pretty enough to be on Instagram, are they? Okay, so just something to think about. So here's something to think. Here's something right here. Here's one of the projects I made. You know what that is? That's a dustpan. Okay. Instead of buying one, I just made one. Okay. This was a piece of, small round bar stock, and then a baking pan, cooking pan that somebody threw away, and then I welded this piece of gray steel to it. It's just gray painted steel. It's not like that's a type of metal or something. It's just painted steel that I took and welded to it, and it just happens to be painted gray. Okay, there you go. So, is it pretty? No. Oh God, no. No, not in the least. But you know what? It is functional. Okay, and it does the job out here perfect. Okay, so, and I couldn't be happier with it. So there you go. My dustpan. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a dustpan. You can weld something else together. Maybe like a coat hanger, maybe a hanger for your keys, or something to hang your hat on. Okay, anything like that. Just get out there and get busy and get on it, because you know what? You're never going to know until you try. So, and that's something that you can live by regardless of whether we're talking about welding, we're talking about auto mechanics, we're talking about engineering, you're talking about now granted, of course, the more education you have in any of these things, the better off you're going to be, the better the results are going to be. But you're going to make mistakes. That's just a thing you're going to have to get around. Okay? You're going to have to get around it. You're going to have to work around that and just live with it. Okay? Now, so I've got a lot more work to do here, and I'm going to get back on this, and I'm going to show you a little bit more in just a minute. Okay, y'all, we're back again, and as you can see, I've cut a couple of these old horseshoes, and I'm going to make them braces, and I'm probably going to do the same thing here with this bit. I may go and do it like that or something along those lines. I don't know. It's just whatever takes me, wherever it takes me. Okay? So sometimes some of this stuff, like these pieces here that was once a horse bit, they're going to be more decorative than anything else. So that might be the best way to go with them. Okay? So I've got a lot more work to do. I've got the lug wrench tacked on there. So I've got a lot more work to do. I'm going to probably trim this here on an angle to match this, or to at least get close to it. And then I'm going to trim the rest of this off, and I'm probably going to trim some of this off up here too as well. So, okay, a little bit more about welding. A bit more about welding and getting started welding on your own. If you have somebody in your family who knows a lot more about it, who has a lot more experience with it, then by all means get if you can, get that person and get with them and get it, gain as much information from them as possible. Even if they're a person that's maybe difficult to talk to, or maybe they don't even, but if they're kind of a person that maybe don't want to talk to you, then maybe that may be a route that is probably not the best route to take, not the best way to take. So, but like I said, get out there and get busy and get started on some of this stuff, because the opportunities are out there. The creativity it's all your own. Also, you're going to run into criticism. You're going to run into people who don't like what you do. It's just the way it is. Sometimes some of these people saying, well, I'm doing this, it's creative criticism. half dozen one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is, but it sure ain't coming across that way. You know what I'm saying? So, well, you know what I'm trying to get across to you is that when you're doing this kind of work, you need to be aware that some people are going to love what you do. They're going to love it. They're going to admire the creativity. They're going to admire everything you're doing. But then some people are going to absolutely hate what you do. Now, again, let me stress, I am not a professional welder by no stretch of the imagination. I get out here and I bang around and I make stuff, and that's about the sum of it. Okay? I have welded a lot on this Barracuda right here. I've welded some on my truck, and it holds together. So what more can you say about, I mean, I don't have, anything more to say about it than that, is that it holds together. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it holds together. I'm okay with that. So, and if that's what you're good with, then, like I said, get out there, get yourself a welder, new, used, MIG, TIG, arc, whatever, you know, uh, gasless flux cord welder, gas, uh, or a welder, a MIG welder with the the gas shield, the shielding gas. Sorry, getting a little tongue tied there. Uh, anyway, any which way you go, it's going to be. I mean, in my book, that's a win. Okay, so get out there and get started and get busy. Okay, I mean, the only thing holding you back is yourself. All right. So, all right, I'm going to do a little bit more here. I'm going to show you a little bit more, and we'll get right on it. Okay. Thank you very much. Be right back. All right, y'all. We're back, and here we go. It looks like a mess, doesn't it? Let me explain. Let me flip the camera around first. Okay, here's what's going on. I do apologize for the glare. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Let me explain what's happening here. Okay. Two schools of thought. My original plan was to take all of these horseshoes and make these horseshoes into like a floor, I guess you could say, or a platform where stuff could be put in here, okay? But also stuff could hang from all of these, okay? That was my idea. Unfortunately, I've kind of realized that that's going to be a hell of a lot of work because all of these horseshoes would have to be ground. They'd have to be cleaned up some, ground on, and then welded. Okay? And when you're talking, let's see, there's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 altogether. You're talking, that's a lot of grinding, that's a lot of welding. And I'm like, I'm thinking I want something a little bit less labor intensive. So I've came up with another plan. My plan is to do this. Let's get rid of the horseshoes. Move them over here, save them for another project. Okay. Now, here's the backup plan. Backup plan is I have a bar running right there. Something like that. Maybe like that, and then another bar running like that. Okay, you see where I'm going? All right, then I have another bar coming in here like so, and then maybe another short bar coming in here like that. All right, you see where I'm talking about? Now that will allow these S-hooks to hang off of those and still allow you still allowed to hang stuff on there. Then I might come in here with some smaller bar, like so, and just come in and weld in here, or maybe here like so. And of course, I'm going to cut off the excess and all of that. But come in there like so, and then the excess of this will probably go over here somewhere. So you see where I'm going with this. You see what's happening here, okay? And that will also give us a little bit of a platform to put stuff up here, like lids and things of that nature, okay? So there you go. All right. So that's the project so far as it stands, okay? I know it looks a little bit like a basketball hoop or a really, really rough, crude basketball hoop, maybe. I don't know. But I hope you like these little embellishments here. You know, these are bits, horse bits. Horse people know exactly what I'm talking about. Then, of course, you got your horseshoes here that I cut up and used as a brace. So there you go. All right. I'm going to end this video now because it's just over 26 minutes. So I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to get back to work on that after I do a couple of things. And I'll show you some more later on, okay? But in the meantime, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. And I do appreciate all your comments and your everything like that. But if you do have any other comments, questions about this, or any of these other projects you see me doing, you know what to do. Go down below, put something down there, and let's give me a question, shoot me a comment, anything. But let this be an inspiration to you. Because I mean, I don't welding classes. I don't have any job as a welder. Nope. This is just me getting out here and banging around on this stuff. So if I can, inspire you all to get out there and do something, then do it. But now's a perfect time. We got the coronavirus. Things are starting to lock down again. Hey, come on. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. God, I'm getting tongue-tied. And I do appreciate all your comments. I really, really do. And appreciate all your questions and everything like that. Love that interaction. So thank you very much. And God bless. And have a great one.